Here's a big reason why the Astros are going to win the World Series. I've learned something doesn't work, you don't bet on it again. So if you didn't think the Indians were going to do it last year, betting on this year's Dodgers is not the right way to go. Here's where the Astros have the clear advantage, though. Take Game 1, for example, where the Dodgers clearly have the more pressure on them than the Astros do. Because if the Dodgers don't win Game 1 with Clayton Kershaw starting and you're running into Justin Verlander Game 2, series is over. You go down 0-2, it's over. I understand the Astros or the Yankees came back early in the playoffs, but it is over if the Dodgers get down 0-2. Let's look at the matchups for Game 1 and why it is so important. It's Dallas Keuchel versus Kershaw. Obviously, you're taking Kershaw for who's the better pitcher. Of course, Kershaw's the better pitcher. But let's look at the matchup, because Keuchel's not throwing to Kershaw, and Kershaw's not throwing to Keuchel. I mean, they are, but no one cares about the 9-hole hitter. Keuchel's going up against a lineup that has 2 right-handed bats hitting well, and a Justin Turner and Yasiel Puig. And Yasiel Puig is Mr. Inconsistent. I understand he's had a great postseason until this point, but Mr. Inconsistent is still the name of his game. Oh, let's look at Clayton Kershaw, who's running into, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 7 right-handed bats? Oh, that's going to be a problem, isn't it? The same Clayton Kershaw that outside of 3 starts still has a very shabby to poor postseason record. The same Clayton Kershaw that is clearly not the same pitcher post-September as he is pre. The same Clayton Kershaw that's going to be going against an offense in Houston that led the regular season in scoring, has led the postseason in scoring, and is just a far different animal than the Cubs and Diamondbacks that they faced so far. I'm not saying Kershaw is not great. He is. He's clearly the best pitcher in this series. Here's the difference in how Houston and LA get to approach Game 1, right? LA realistically gets 5 or 6 innings out of Kershaw, then will go to their pen. They'll extend if they have the lead, they'll extend Jansen. They'll extend their relievers. They'll probably only try to get 2 relievers in. They'll try to get their setup guy and then Jansen. Say they lose that game. You go to Game 2. Verlander, like I stated in my video about him leading the Astros to the World Series, he is the only guy who is still old school mentality and is giving you 7, 8, possibly 9 innings regardless. I mean, he was at 120 pitches coming out in the 8th inning against the Yankees. The Astros can dump their bullpen in Game 1 and piece it together for an advantage. I understand their bullpen's not as good as LA, but they can mix, match, piece together and get a far better result using matchups and cadences in Game 1, whereas LA does not have that luxury. Who's LA? LA can't clear the bullpen. If you have to clear the bullpen in Game 1, that means Kershaw didn't go as far as you needed him to. You, Darvish, and Rich Hill are not inning eaters. They're not going 7, 8 innings for you. So you put your bullpen in jeopardy, and you compromise how well they can do the remainder of this series. And you guys don't want to say that I'm crazy, right? And I already hear it. It's like, oh, well, that's not going to happen. Houston isn't going to get that kind of lead. You're just, you're on this whole kick. What did I tell about Vegas's numbers? Do I have to repeat it? The longer the series goes, it favors Houston. This is why Houston goes 4.6% in 4, 6.3 in 5, 13.9 in 6, and 16.6 in 7. The longer the series goes, because they have Verlander, they can throw 2 games, they can mix, match, and piece the other games together, which gives them a better chance in the longer the series goes on. You go to the Dodgers' chances, they go from 7.5 and 4 to 19.2 and 5 to 17.6 and 6 down to 14.3 and 7. Even Vegas is telling you, the longer this series prolongs itself, the longer it goes on, it is 100% in the hands and advantages of the Houston Astros because they have that horse who they know they can throw 7, 8 innings for those 2 games, maybe even 9, and they can set up their bullpen and their starters, and they can go compete with the Dodgers. Also, Houston has the better lineup. I've explained this before. Houston, position by position, is a better offense and a better lineup than the Dodgers. This is why they led baseball in runs and led the postseason in runs. So let me reiterate this. If you have $1,000 And I'm not telling anyone to negligibly spend their money. If you don't actually have it, don't do it. But if you got $1,000, you go put your money on Houston in 6, because that's where this series is going. You get game 1, 2, 5, and 6. And I'll give the Dodgers game 3 and game 4. And like always, you guys, if you heard or saw anything that you liked, please thumbs up, like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Always appreciate it. Keep the conversation open. And I will see you guys next time. Have a great Wednesday. Peace out.